while European nations are just beginning to dip their toes into oceanic exploration. China's Ming Dynasty, under the Yongle Emperor, is at the height of its maritime power. Admiral Zheng He commands the Treasure Fleet, colossal ships, many times larger than anything in Europe, armed with cannons and carrying thousands of soldiers, merchants, and scholars. In our timeline, these voyages were primarily for diplomacy and trade, establishing Chinese prestige across the Indian Ocean. But what if the Yongle Emperor had a different ambition? What if, instead of turning inward and dismantling the fleet, he ordered Zheng He to sail east, across the vast, uncharted Pacific? Imagine the scene. Hundreds of these massive treasure ships appearing off the coast of California or Mexico. The Aztec and Inca empires, powerful in their own right, would be utterly stunned. These weren't just a few small caravels. This was a floating city, a projection of immense power. Not just soldiers, but bureaucrats, astronomers, engineers, and physicians. They would document everything: the strange plants like maize and potatoes, the unique animals like llamas and turkeys, and the complex societies of the Maya, Aztec, and Inca. Trade would be the first order of business. The Chinese would offer silk, porcelain, and advanced metalwork in exchange for silver, gold, jade, and exotic feathers. But this exchange would go far beyond mere goods. The Americas would be introduced to Chinese technology: iron tools, gunpowder weapons, the printing press, and perhaps most importantly, draft animals like horses and oxen, which were absent from the continent. Think about the impact. With iron plows and horses, agriculture in the Americas would be revolutionized. Crop yields would skyrocket. While it wouldn't be a magic bullet, traditional Chinese medicine, with its emphasis on herbal remedies and understanding of contagion, might have offered a more effective response than the Europeans provided. It's possible that the population decline, while still tragic, might not have been as catastrophic as the 90% drop seen in our history. Politically, the landscape would be completely different. Instead of being dismantled, the Aztec and Inca empires might have been transformed into client states of the Ming Dynasty. Imagine the Aztec emperor in Tenochtitlan paying tribute not to a Spanish king, but to the Son of Heaven in Beijing. Chinese governors and administrators would likely be installed, working alongside local rulers. Confucian philosophy, with its emphasis on hierarchy, social order, and bureaucracy, would find fertile ground in the highly organized societies of the Inca and Aztecs. We might see a fascinating blend of cultures: Taoist temples built alongside sun pyramids, Mandarin characters used to write the Nahuatl language, and Chinese-style civil service exams adapted for Inca nobles. It would fuel a commercial and artistic boom, perhaps preventing the economic stagnation the Ming Dynasty later faced. China would remain the undisputed center of the world economy for centuries longer. And what about Europe? This is where it gets really interesting. Spain and Portugal, finding the New World already claimed by a superpower, would be completely sidelined. Their age of exploration would be stunted. Without the immense wealth of the Americas, the rise of Spain as a global power would never happen. The power balance in Europe would be thrown into chaos. Perhaps the Dutch or the English would become more dominant earlier, or maybe the Ottoman Empire would face less European resistance. Global culture would be unrecognizable. Instead of a world dominated by Western languages, laws, and philosophies, we'd see a much stronger Sino-centric influence. Mandarin could be a global language on par with English today. Chinese cuisine, blended with American ingredients like corn, chili peppers, and chocolate, would be a global phenomenon. Imagine sweet and sour alpaca or kung pao turkey. Of course, this wouldn't be a utopia. Colonization is colonization. There would still be exploitation, conflict, and the suppression of local customs. The Chinese would undoubtedly see themselves as a superior, civilizing force. Rebellions would happen, and they would be put down with Ming military might. The new hybrid societies would face their own unique tensions and struggles, but the fundamental character of the world would be different. The scientific revolution might happen in Beijing instead of London. The Industrial Revolution could be powered by Chinese ingenuity and American resources. Thanks for joining me on this journey through an alternate past. What do you think would be the biggest difference in this timeline? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this trip into the world of What If, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into history and alternate realities. See you next time.